Alright, so this is the second video for rigging the letter O. First thing I like to do is to double check that I have a different color, because the default color of white is just too bright, especially when you have to think about the specular shining, and it's just nasty to look at after a while. So like I said, you want to just give it a color. It does help, maybe something subtle, and then drop the weight and the roughness, pump that up so it's more soft. Alright, that's pretty much that. Then make okay, wait, so let me just fix this for a second. Gotta delete the history. So edit, delete by type, history, and then this here is locked out. This was from a previous skinning. I had to select it, unlock it. Again, you select and you unlock it. It gets locked up when an artist does previous skinning tests. So I'm just letting you guys know ahead of time. And you make sure to name it. I like to name it O, or the letter, and then mesh, and then to place it here, put a little underscores before and after, so there's no naming convention conflicts. Save. Alright, good. Making sure there's no history, making sure that it is right there. See, flush the 000. This is top down, looking here and looking here, right there in the middle. Same thing for the right side. As you can see, it's right there. Same thing for the front. So it should be like this. Make sure that everything's set up like that. So okay, and then from there, change this to rigging, and then I like to put them on my shelf, so I'm just gonna show how to do that, and I'm gonna wipe these out. Alright, so rigging, and then skeleton, create joints. There's the option box, so Control Shift and click this. There it is, create joints. And then what else? Mirror joints, I need that as well. Control Shift, dump that there to mirror joints. And then what else? Skin, bind skin, I need that. Control Shift up, and then you click here for the option box, and then I also need unbind skin. Control Shift right there, and then what else? Okay, got that. And then constrain, parent, constraint, option box, and then what else? Deform, delta mush, Control Shift. There you go. I also want to put edit, delete by type, history, Control Shift, boom, and then modify, freeze transformations, Control Shift, and just click that, and then also Control Shift, and then center pivot. Should I need that right now? I'll leave that alone for now. Yeah. Alright, so I have my tools. Alright, so from there, I'm gonna click on this joint tool, right? Reset for the joint tool again, joint tool skeleton, create joints. Alright, so that's what that was. I'm going to use my front view. I'm going to turn on this X-ray joints, and then X-ray, turn that on. Alright, I'm just going to plop one there. That's all I'm going to do, just one. You click once and press W to get out of the joint tool, the create joint tool. And then immediately I'm going to name it O root JNT. I like to put capitals at the beginning, that because it just helps me to read it better. And then I'm going to hold X as an X-ray and just plop it down here. I'm going to pull it up. This is my root joint. I'm going to explain why I'm placing it there, but before that, under radius, I don't know, 0.75 or 0.85. The size of the bone nubs, I like to call them nubs. It doesn't really matter. Alright, would it be this size or would it be like freaking this size? It doesn't really matter. Or I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter. Anyway, 0.85. Just place it right here. And in my old videos, I used to place it down here, but it turns out that if you place it like here, it'll miss some of the capture of the vertices to the bones. So you want to have it sitting inside like that. So that's my root joint, and I named it O root joint. You know what? I'm gonna dump it in here. I'm gonna name it underscore O bones underscore save, like that. And then I'm gonna grab this, Control D as in David, Control D. I'm gonna just lift it up. Immediately I will name it O spine space JNT 00, like that. And then after that, alright, so I made the spine joint 00 because it's the spine, and I'm gonna make this smaller, like 0.35 perhaps, or 0.5 ish, just something smaller so I can just help see and differentiate it. And typically, you know, a lot of times I would, in my old videos, I would place it up here, you know, have some distance, but you want to place it close to your root joint. See my root joint, you want to place it close, because this is the hinge. This is where it literally hinges off of. So what I mean by that is in here, right? If I don't have this, right? See how okay, so this controller, right? That's why you need this hinge joint. That's the reason why. Super important. Just like here, you need this hinge joint. See? And this may look weird, but when you're to grab, say, this, and like this, then this, see, and then it moves in bulks like that. So just explaining about that. I have to explain these because it just makes for to be able to logically understand like what the hell is going on with these things. Anyway, so put that over there, right next to root joint. Control D, place it here. I'm just looking at my demonstration file, and I placed the one up here like that. Typically I do like to place one more here, but more bones equals more work, so I'm being frugal about it. And then after that, from there, okay, then it's the next one. I placed it right around here. No, right around here. Yeah. And after that, Control D. As you can see, the joints are in numerical order, so you start from the bottom up to prevent a real nightmare with naming conventions. Oh, this one here. Okay, so that's this one. I had it placed on top by accident. So root joint, and this joint, then this joint, then this joint. I like to press Q to hide the handle, because sometimes it gets in the way. And then next one, Control D, as in David, and then just gonna yank it up right around, yeah, right around here, you could say. Previously I placed it a little bit lower, so I'm gonna place it there. And then Control D, and then lift it up. Control D, lift it up, and there you have it. Mesh, I gotta lock it out. Grab this, pump it up there. So spacing, more or less equidistant, like so. This one here, my example, I placed the bone over here, and then but it still seemed to have been okay, because when you look at it right here, it didn't capture some of this down here, but it's okay, it seems to be. So there is some leeway. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. And from there, I want to discuss something else before I start chugging away. Is this. So these, or I'll start down here. Press F way down here. So this is the right rib, rib 1. This, press F, is rib 2. These could be better organized, but I just didn't want to mess with it, so you'll see me going up and down. Anyway, rib 2, rib 1, again, rib 2. But what I want to get across is that rib 1, joint 0, 0, rib 1, joint 0, 1, rib 1, joint 0, 2. So there's a hierarchical naming setup. It sounds convoluted and everything, but it helps out tremendously to have a naming organization. Anyway, so like this one, right rib 2. This one, right rib 2, joint 1. And this one was right rib 2, joint 0, 0, 0, 1, joint 0, 2, and this one, joint 0, 3. So that's the thing I want to get across. Rib, right rib 3, joint 0, 0, right rib 3, joint 0, 1, right rib 3, joint 0, 2, and so on and so forth. Alright, so I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna just do Control D as in David, chuck it over, and then from there Immediately I'm gonna name it, you know, right rib, was it 01 did I put? Right rib 01? Yeah. And then underscore JNT 00. So this right here, it'll sound confusing, but that's why I explained it just previously. I'm gonna put this at what, 0.5? Yeah. So, and then I'm gonna place it here, and then Control D. See what just happened? Control D. See this right here? This is what I want to get across. 01. When I duplicated it, it immediately named the hierarchy number order next number up like that. So it's good, very good. So in this one, place it here, place that there, and then I could end it like this. Maybe I'll just have less work, right? The reason why I'm a little bit slowing down is that I have 3, and you know, it does help. See, they're like helper joints, because without it, the deformation is more clunky and stretched out. So I'm just thinking whether to do it or not. I mean, it looks freaking good, right? To get that little bend like this. Yes, it's worth the time. And then Control D. There you go. See, and plop it there. And then that's about it, huh? Okay. Alright, so that's done. Next one. Actually, I'm gonna make this what, 0.35 smaller. So I'm gonna grab these 3. After I grab these 3, I'm gonna do Control D as in David. I'm gonna lift it up, and then from there I need to change this to right rib 02. In order to do that, I want to introduce this new tool option under modify, and search and replace names. Control Shift, click it. Here it is. Click that, and I'm gonna type in here anything with 01. I'm gonna replace it with 02, because this is rib number. This is the rib joint chain number 2, hence 2. And then apply. See, right there. But that's the only thing that I can change. These at the end, you have to manually name it, change it, because if you try to automate it, it just does stupid things, and it wigs out on you. So I did that. Whoever may be watching, you just have to be patient with this and just bear with me, because it's just the way it is. Alright, so that's good. And then after that, grab these 3, and then Control D as in David. I'm gonna lift it up, just kind of eyeball it, and then from there, 1 second, I'm just looking at my example file. Alright, so from there, I'm gonna grab these 3, and then same thing. I'm gonna replace 2. I'm gonna search for 02, replace it with 03, because this is gonna be rib chain number 3. and there you go. And then go back and, damn it. This one is, gotta be careful. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. And the naming can be, you can switch these around by selecting one and middle mouse click and hold, middle mouse drag and drop it until you only see a line. Like that, see? Grab this, middle mouse drag until you see a line, just a line. Not a rectangle, but a line. That 1, 2, 3. Same thing here, 1, 2, 3, good. 0, 1, 2, 3, good. And then finally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And this one, there's one more. Control D and yank it over. And then I'm gonna grab this, middle mouse, click and drag it up here. This is just for the sake of being organized. And then I'm gonna grab these two and maybe just kind of chuck it over a bit. And then this one, I need to make one more. Control D, chuck it over here, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab this, chuck it over, grab that, chuck it over, something like that. Spacing. There, this is good. And this one, probably do that, do that. I'm just looking at the spacing. Like that. Better spacing. Alright, so that's good. Alright, so I'm gonna grab these, same process, Control D, as in David, yank it up, eyeball it, around here. And then I'm gonna replace 3 with 4. There you go, see? Bop, 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 bop. And this one is gonna be 1. This one's gonna be 2. This one is gonna be 3. This one is gonna be 4. And then just for the hell of it, I'm just gonna make it, place it like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not necessary, but just for the sake of whomever student or students would be watching this. Anyway, I'm gonna grab all of that, Control D, chuck it up to here, and then I'm gonna pull up my search and replace. This guy right here, again, it's here, edit, modify, search and replace. I'm gonna replace 04 with 05. Hit apply. 5. Bop, 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 bop. Get this out of my way. This one is gonna be 01. Shit. And this one is gonna be 02. I don't know why they misorganized this. This is 03. This is 04. And then I'm just gonna just do that, and then boom, 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 boom. Good. Uh-oh. Never mind, I thought I did something wrong, but it seems to be okay. Rip 1, 0, 0, joint 0, 0, rip 1, 0, 1, rip 2, okay, that's good. Rip 3, 01, 00, 02, 03, 04. Joint 01, joint 01, joint 00. And that's the only thing that I didn't name correctly. This one right here, rib chain 1. So this joint supposed to be joint 01. Damn it! See, it's doing the I'm just gonna add stuff at the end for now, because it won't let me rename things. Okay, this one, add something at the end, only because of the fact that there's a naming conflict. Now I can name this as 01, because previously this was 01, and this one I'm gonna name it, this is so ridiculous, I freaking hate this part of breaking. This is gonna be 02, and this is 03. Okay, good. 01, 02, 03, good. 01, 02, 03, 04, good. Previously, before, like I said, this was labeled as 00. This is why I changed it. Alright, good. Grab all of these, and then Control D, lift it up like so. Nice, like that. I'm gonna change the name 05, and then this is gonna be 6. Yeah, search for 505, replace it with 06, hit apply, and as you can see, 06. Grab this joint, making sure to grab the right one. Zero 02, 03, and then after that 1, 2, 3, 4, this is going to be 04. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab these two, middle mouse, click and drag it in between, chuck it up there. Again, I don't have to do this, but I'm just doing it for the sake of teaching and presentation. Next one, I just need to have 1, 2, 3. Grab these 3, Control D, chuck it up like so, and probably grab like this. Grab something like this, like that. Grab that, probably dump it like over here. Maybe I'll grab these, just kind of chuck it over a bit so it catches a bit more here, like so. I grab these, kind of pull it over a bit. Spacing is good. Alright, that's about it. And then this one, chuck it over like that. Grab these, maybe spacing wise, maybe lower it a bit like so. But for sure, these guys have to be straight, up and down. Alright, good. Alright, so that's all of that. So the naming is good and clean. Alright, so most of the hard work is already done, believe it or not. I'm gonna close. Should I close this? I'll close that for now. Okay. And that's almost 30 minutes. Okay, so boom, that's that. I think I'll just leave it like that. I'm gonna name this there's 01. Okay, that'll be the end of this tutorial. Alright, bye.